Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga yesterday faced the wrath of Gen Zs. Walituma salamu kwa wingi sana. And today, Raila Odinga responded to the Gen Zs. Let me read for you Raila Odinga's response to the Gen Zs. This is what Raila Odinga posted on his official Facebook page and Twitter handle. On Facebook page, the post is already viral. 5 hours, and it has already been liked 25,000. That means that is serious interaction. And it has been commented like 10,000 people have commented. And if you go through those comments, you'll get what the Gen Zs are actually telling Raila Odinga. This is what Raila Odinga posted. Nimeambiwa na hawa viongozi kwamba umesema hamtaki handshake. Ujumbe umefika. Now, from this photo, I can see Edwin Sifuna, who is the senator for Nairobi, and also the Secretary General of ODM Party. I can also see Rene Mayaka, an ODM nominated member of parliament. I can also see Crystal Asige, nominated senator, and Eddie Okechmuokratego, the senator for Migori. These are young parliamentarians. It means after the backlash, they requested for a meeting with Raila Odinga. And the meeting primarily centered on the response of the Gen Zs. And just like I've been telling you on this platform, and in fact, I even offered unsolicited advice to Raila Odinga in particular and Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Alliance that they should be very careful with the Gen Zs. Because this group, in my view, is going to shape the politics of the Republic of Kenya moving forward. As a matter of fact, they've already changed the politics of Kenya completely. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about Raila Odinga's change of heart. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. And again, before I dive in, allow me to also take this opportunity to thank the following people. You are seeing their names on the screen there for the coffee which they sent to me earlier today. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. You can also do the same using the numbers on your screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to listen to Raila Odinga's speech yesterday, just part of it, that really annoyed the Gen Zs.
To express themselves, to come out with the grievances which are actually ailing our country today, so that a lasting solution can be found. Because of restrictions of resources or limitation of resources, we've agreed that everybody else will bear their cost of coming to this meeting. But we want it to be a really very engaging conversation on the way forward, so that we deal with fundamental issues that are affecting our society today.
Now that's Raila Odinga. The biggest question which we should be asking ourselves is why the Gen Zs were really annoyed with Raila Odinga. Because let's face it, Raila Odinga is an old person right now. And personally, I don't expect Raila Odinga to be fighting for Kenyans. And indeed, the Gen Zs were also very clear that Baba, wewe kaka, kakando, let us fight this fight for you. So when they saw Raila Odinga with William Ruto, and William Ruto is their main target, because clearly the call is Ruto must go, they were very annoyed and they were very angry. And indeed, walisalimia Baba vizuri sana. But the question is, why do you think these Gen Zs were so annoyed with Raila Odinga? Number one, the truth of the matter is that most of these Gen Zs were fighting, in their view, on behalf of Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga has fought for Kenya for a very long time, and nothing much has been achieved. So the Gen Zs have been watching from afar, and this time around they decided, okay, because you guys are used to Raila Odinga, you fight. I mean, it's predictable how they would have responded. You fight, watu wanalemwa tiagas vizuri, very many people will die, then Raila Odinga chickens out, then of course a meeting here and there, then life goes on. So the Gen Z said, "Wait, relax, let us deal with these guys." And therefore, most of them believed that they were fighting not only their own war, but also on behalf and for Raila Amolo Odinga. So Raila Odinga really disappointed them when he met with William Ruto.
Agwambo, this is a message to you. Usitoke, don't come. Agwambo, please stay at home. We saw your efforts, okay? We saw everything that you did for Kenya. Now let us. We miss you, but Agwambo, please don't even come outside. Don't come outside. Tunatoka on your behalf, okay?
Number two, the Gen Zs also expected Raila Amolo Odinga as the father of the demonstrations to provide them with a fatherly figure. By providing fatherly figure, just like Raila Odinga indicated the previous day, that I'm with you guys. That's what they expect Raila Odinga. But now you are fighting to remove William Ruto. You expect Raila Odinga to offer that fatherly support. Then you see him with the same guy. So the Gen Zs were very annoyed. And of course, remember, their focus was one. Finance bill, withdraw it completely. We don't want anything. Even if you were to change all those clauses, we don't want, as you want it to be removed completely. So William Ruto withdrew the finance bill. Then the focus still remained on William Ruto. Ruto must go. Then Ruto is your focus. Then you see him in a meeting with Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga is telling you that beginning Monday, there's going to be a 6-day meeting or forum or dialogue with which people? How are those guys going to be appointed? And of course, there was also the feeling amongst the Gen Zs that Raila Odinga has betrayed them. So they were very, very angry. And of course, the backlash was there. And indeed, Raila Odinga listened to them. But why do you think Raila Odinga called for that dialogue? Despite the fact that I'm sure Raila Odinga knew that that dialogue call was going to have serious backlash. For me, Raila Odinga did that because, number one, his AU bid. I want you guys to put yourself in Raila Odinga's shoe. Raila Odinga wants to become the chair of the African Union Commission. Basically, the president of the presidents. One of the roles is to help countries resolve their issues. You, as the chair of the African Union Commission, if there's a conflict between, let's say, Kenya and another country, then they expect the AU to come and midwife peace. The person who is expected or elected to that post comes from Kenya. And he cannot solve or help or become a solution in his own country. So how do you expect the African Union Commission to appoint Raila Odinga when Raila Odinga cannot solve the problem in Kenya? So I think Raila Odinga was advised that the best thing, please try find solution to the problem in Kenya, so that you can prove to the world that indeed you can always provide solution. But Raila Odinga's approach, in my view, is what missed the point. So number one is that Raila Odinga's bid. Of course, Raila Odinga is also interested in the position of the African Union Commission chairmanship. Number two, why Raila Odinga decided to call for the dialogue is because William Ruto was subdued. And William Ruto is not trying to form government of national unity, which means Raila Odinga and his team will have to be part of that government. Then how can William Ruto gain from doing that, from appointing Raila Odinga's allies to the cabinet? Simple. Raila Odinga must also help him fight the war. So I think the only mistake Raila Odinga committed was the belief that that these people would easily listen to him. If these guys could not listen to William Ruto, Raila Odinga thought maybe they are just angry with William Ruto, but for me, they listen to me. That has failed. So it's because of that handshake or government of national unity. And of course, Raila Odinga also believes, and I spoke to someone and he told me that Raila Odinga believes that whenever a country is in crisis, like the way Kenya was in crisis or is in crisis, that is the best time to initiate reform initiatives. William Ruto will be subdued, he will be boxed into a corner, and then maybe he will be able or will agree to sit on a table. So Raila Odinga believes that this is the moment for certain changes. If the agencies wanted some changes, if there are certain, because for example, look at the IBC bill, which the president assented to. Why do you think the president has always sat on that bill? Until the agencies started demonstrating, and then he made a commitment that he was going to make changes or sign the bill in 6 days. So it means when the country is in a crisis like this, that's when certain changes can actually be pushed through. And that's what Raila Odinga was trying to do. And of course, I also believe that Raila Odinga was misadvised. I've always stated on this platform, and I want to repeat again, that around Raila Odinga, there are brokers. They see opportunities. I'm even aware that there are brokers around Raila Odinga who have always tried so hard to plant Raila Odinga right in the middle of the agencies. It's only that it has refused. You remember during Eriko Omondi's brother Fred's memorial service in Nairobi, these guys even tried to impose Raila Odinga, and those guys never even recognized Raila Odinga at Carnival. So those are the realities. Probably why Raila Odinga had to call for dialogue. But the biggest question, why do you think Raila Odinga has decided, okay, you guys have spoken, let me retreat? Number one, the ground is very hostile. The agencies is a huge block. So I think Raila Odinga felt the wrath. Ile messages amepata. Of course, I've also seen the ODM party's statement where they have advised their supporters not to go to the street. I don't think whether that's a good strategy for them, but I've seen it. But the ground became very hostile. And of course, Raila Odinga is also trying now to protect his reform credentials. That he's now trying to defend someone who has witnessed abductions, deaths, over 41 Kenyans dead, and they're moving. There's that photo or image of the young man who was killed, dumped into some lake or some water pan, body floating. I don't know what comes to William Ruto's mind when he sees those kind of images and when he will face Kenyans and talk of extrajudicial killings, because clearly there is now extrajudicial killings in the Republic of Kenya. So Raila Odinga's image was going to be really tainted. Most of Kenyans were like, "Wewe huyu jamaa kwa biashara." So I don't know what you think. For me, Raila Odinga, if he wanted to pursue his bid for the AU, because it's only 6 months, if I were him, I'd just let the agencies do their politics, William Ruto and the team do their politics. For him, he should just focus on the agencies. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.